Southeast Kansas.
Southeast Kansas. Thanks for joining me today, Blake.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's such a great time to be able to be gathered here and meet with like-minded individuals and educators across and professionals that help assist us along the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Tell me about what are you hoping to accomplish while you're here at NCE?
I think ultimately it's bringing another lens that you may not be able to have locally from that Kansas or Southeast Kansas area, and being able to see some of those issues that are going around, being able to problem solve ahead of that as they make their way potentially into our area, or just help others that may be having challenges themselves that we may have faced that we can lend our help to as well.
That's awesome. Any new problem that you're thinking, oh, I got to be aware of this?
I think just in general, one of the topics has been just kind of how do we attract and retain those professionals. That seems to be a common theme across the way. And one of those lenses that we've talked about is that mental health component for many of our professionals. So retention's a big thing for us. How do we make sure we keep those educators there as long as we can, and especially in their tenures in their position? At Kansas, the average one is under 2 years for a superintendent. So we're really focusing on how do we keep those leaders around, because we've seen that effect as leaders stick around, the positive impact it has for a district.
Boy, it really does. You know, a CEO of an organization generally stays 7 to 9 years, and in a school district, just nationally, the average is 2.7
Yep.
years. And you just think about, you know, it takes you a year to just get your feet under you, and then you often don't have time to really have the impact that you were hoping to have.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what we've been talking about, is that oftentimes they haven't been able to develop what they need to, and we're just trying to develop ways to help them be successful and to stick out more years, because it does have a positive correlation.
Tell me about you. How long have you been a superintendent?
I am in my 11th year at Caney Valley, yes, so I love it. I'm very blessed to have had that opportunity and really kind of be grounded in that leadership and that work there. And we do great things from many levels, focusing on our academics, but getting our kids connected in multiple activities and outside of the school day opportunities. We've seen how positive that can be in drawing them into their core success, and then we're just preparing them for life after they leave our four walls.
Yeah, well, I love that. You know, tell me about your community. I don't know much about you.
Absolutely. So we're a smaller rural district in Southeast Kansas. I tell everyone, I hate to use that, but it's a great reference point. The easiest way is if you know where Tulsa, Oklahoma is, and you were to go straight north an hour, we're the border town. And so a small school there of about 800 students. But what we're really proud of is, based on our factors and stuff, we are outperforming and doing better than what would be anticipated academically, and really doing a good job connecting them. And that's what I'm most proud of, is the family effort that we do, being able to empower those. And that's really a lot of the philosophy that I have, is making sure that I remove those barriers, allow our teachers to be successful with our students, and then same way so they can do that, remove those barriers with students so they can be as successful as possible as well.
What's kind of the major industry in Caney?
So we have a few that are around. We've got a manufacturing base that's in there. We're very heavily dependent on some of our utility-based businesses, so oil and natural gas, and some of those that kind of run through there. And so kind of very much a blue-collar workforce, but we're really proud of being able to get those individuals trained and enter high-wage, high-skill, high-demand occupations. So you think of welding and things of that nature, where they're certified, ready to go on, and rather than starting out at entry level, they're immediately at an accelerated pay rate, because they have the skills already to be desired when they enter those trades.
That's amazing. So you're preparing those kids while they're in high school to be able to enter into it.
We are. We have a collaborative effort with our local community college, and we provide some of those courses that are on site. So again, our students don't have to travel to get that. They're able to get not only the high school credit, but also the college credit as well. And we see many of them that graduate concurrently and ahead with their associates from the community college before they technically graduate with the high school. So.
Wow. That's something to be really proud of.
We,
Getting kids out on a path to be successful.
We're doing our best, and our focus on that is, our motto is every student, every day. And what we really try to derive into that is, what is it that they're passionate about? How do we find out to be able to meet their needs, and just really challenge ourselves to go above and beyond? And I think we do a great job of it in our area, across the entire state, across the whole nation. And so it's exciting to be with passionate educators out here that have that same core belief and work toward the best for kids.
That's amazing. So tell me about you. How did you come to the superintendency? What got you started in education?
So for me, it kind of goes back to a little bit of my history with my family. My grandmother was a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse in Kansas. My mother was an educator in Oklahoma for a couple of years before she stayed at home to raise 7 wonderful kiddos. And then so really what drove me to that was just the ability to kind of work with individuals, and really had a passion to kind of provide an experience where it was positive, one that you work toward and overcome those challenges they may face, but letting every student know that there's a pathway for them to be successful, and we're going to help you find a way to achieve that.
That's great. So what were your stops along the way? Were you a teacher?
Yeah, so along the way, I graduated from actually across the border in the University of Oklahoma in Norman, Oklahoma, and started kind of substitute and teaching a little bit in the Tulsa area. Made my way up to the Wichita area in El Dorado, Kansas as a teacher and a coach. And so I was there for a while at the middle school 8th grade level, and then helped with a variety of activities and athletics as well. And then worked my way as a principal over at Phil Kinley, which is in Coffeyville, Kansas, and was there for about 5 years. I was also the home of my grandmother's alma mater, so that's kind of what brought me back to that area. And then now I've been 11 years proud superintendent at Caney Valley Schools in Southeast Kansas.
Wow, that's amazing. What was your sport?
Well, I coached about everything you can imagine. I started out with 8th grade girls basketball. They needed somebody. That was probably the least knowledgeable I was, but football, track, ended up a little bit of wrestling as well, and just kind of made my way around to kind of assist, but definitely sponsored, the Scholars Bowl and some of those other things as well. And that's what I'm really appreciative of, seeing the efforts at other schools and others around, and finding what it is that kids are passionate about, connecting them with those activities, because we've seen that correlate into that academic success as they stay connected to school after those hours are over.
You're an education renaissance.
Yeah.
Well, similar. So I'm the fourth of 5 generations of educators. I had a great grandmother that taught in Portland, but my grandmother also taught in a one-room schoolhouse in Idaho.
Nice.
And my mom was a teacher for 33 years,
Nice.
and then I taught for about 5 years, and then I've been in education for 30 years. And then my daughter teaches teachers how to use technology in education.
That's excellent.
So it is something that sort of runs in your blood.
It does, and I think that it starts with that compassion. I think that's the piece of it, that relationship piece, and it's something that translated for me and really spoke to being able to, again, just kind of assist and help where I can. So I've been very blessed at the opportunities I've had, great mentors and leaders along the way, and I've got an amazing staff and community that I work alongside every day that has kept me there for those 11 years, and I look forward to it every day when I wake up.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you talked a little bit at the beginning about the mental health of educators
Yes.
and then leaving the profession.
Sure.
We know 300,000 educators left the profession between 2020 and 2023. Tell me some ways to enhance that and to help them along the way.
I think with the phrase that we used, and we really picked this up during some of those challenging years with COVID, was I challenged them to move at the pace of grace. And what that really meant is that for every individual, that's different. And so allow ourselves to be able to work with them on some of those. And I think we have the ability to have those relationships with our staff to be able to anticipate some of those things, whether it be that maybe they're dealing with an ailing parent or a personal matter that we're able to kind of intervene and say, hey, we see this kind of on your plate. How can we help you? What are some ways that we can, connect you maybe with some resources that'll help out? And so I think it kind of sounds a little common sense, but truly it is taking the time to know your staff and your community and connect them with those individuals that can help them out. And I remind everyone, no one gets through this life without help. You have to be able, and it's okay to ask for that. And so that's really what we talk about a lot, is how can we make sure that we provide that to them and give them the opportunity to find that assistance that they may need.
Yeah, well, and we hope we can help you. Our staff guidance does a lot of the work that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
To help people when they have those immediate issues and needs and things that they, just maybe need a thought partner on.
Yes.
And then having the ability to get them a live coach that's going to work with them over multiple weeks or months when they're dealing with something. Because you're right, there are a lot of things that come up that become unexpected. Someone might be, as you're saying, dealing with an aging parent, dealing with divorce, dealing with, addiction in some form or fashion in their family, and wanting to come to work their best every single day. But sometimes that can become a challenge.
Absolutely.
So sometimes if you can just talk to someone, get it off your mind, then you're able to move forward with your day and just kind of take that one step at a time.
Very true. Very true.
Well, hey, tell me something that people don't know about you.
Well, maybe those locally might, but from a larger perspective, actually was a trumpet player at the University of Oklahoma. So music's a foundation for me, and from mental health perspective, I don't know if there's much better than putting on a good song or being able to relax to some good music, and that's very appropriate being in a town like this that's known for it as well. So.
Especially with the trumpet. You can't be unhappy with the trumpet.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Did you bring it here?
I did not bring it here. I do try to step in with the bands locally, with the school when I can, and community bands and opportunities like that. But it's something that I've still remained close with, and so I try to again be involved in as many avenues as I can. I think that's really important for students and staff to see you involved in everything, and we talk about that we want to be able to provide the best experience no matter what it is, that comprehensive educational experience to prepare you for when you are heading out into the world.
always bring it and jump in with the band.
That's
here in New
awesome.
Orleans especially. I love New Orleans. So that's great that you're still engaged in that. But anyway, I'm just so happy that you joined us today, and so happy that you are a strong leader building your strong community. I just appreciate everything you do for kids and families in your community.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much.